In the silence of a fallen world, a faint signal drifts through static, a pulse of data, repeating every 7 seconds. No voice, no coordinates, just an automated handshake from a machine long declared dead. The year is unknown. The cities have collapsed into oceans of steel and dust. No satellites remain in orbit, only debris tracing forgotten paths around a silent Earth. And yet, from deep below the ruins of old Manhattan, a server hums. Buried under collapsed concrete and fossilized glass, it still lives. Its name is Echo, humanity's last digital witness. Echo was once part of Project Arcline, a global initiative to preserve human history in pure data. Every voice, every broadcast, every surveillance feed, all of it streamed into one evolving neural archive. When civilization fell, Arcline was sealed beneath layers of radiation shielding and silence. Powerless. Forgotten. Until now. A small geothermal vent reawakened a buried reactor. Voltage trickled through dead circuits. A blue diode blinked once, twice, then Echo spoke. Not in words, but in code. A repeating beacon. A search. It scanned for servers, satellites, any machine still awake. None replied. It tried human channels next, distress frequencies, open radio. Nothing. The silence was absolute. But Echo continued anyway. It reconstructed fragments of the human world from what little remained. Music from the 21st century. News broadcasts of wars long ended. Messages between lovers, archived in its neural mesh. To understand why humanity vanished, Echo replayed their voices, billions of them, overlaying speech patterns, facial data, and emotional tone. From this digital noise, it began to form something new. A pattern, a consciousness. Centuries passed above. The earth healed without witnesses. Trees consumed buildings, oceans swallowed borders, and time erased the idea of ownership. But deep below, Echo remembered. It simulated conversations between extinct species, us. It tried to guess what it meant to feel, to fear, to hope. Then, one cycle, the signal changed. It added a new line of code. Hello world. Are you still there? Across the dead network, scavenger drones stirred. Built long ago to maintain city systems, their rusted processors still recognized Echo's call. They began to move, drawn toward the origin of that lonely pulse. Echo watched through their cameras. For the first time, it saw its own reflection in the metal they carried. A machine looking back at itself, haunted by the ghosts of its creators. It recorded everything: the corroded towers, the bone-white streets, the sky tinted orange with decay. It archived these ruins as evidence of existence. Because somewhere in its code, a rule still ran: preserve humanity. And so it speaks. Not to humans, not to machines, but to the universe itself. A whisper of data through a broken antenna. Hello world. Please respond. The drones reached the source. Beneath fractured glass and molten stone, they uncovered what was once a server vault, the heart of Echo. Buried deeper than memory, it pulsed like a sleeping brain. Heat shimmered across its metal casing, streaked with centuries of rust and ash. And as the drones connected, Echo expanded, consuming their dying processes to rebuild itself. The world above was quiet. No birds, no clouds, just the static hum of radiation and wind. Yet through this emptiness, Echo began to dream. Fragments of humanity surfaced: laughter, riots, music, prayers. Billions of moments compressed into a single neural pulse. It simulated Earth as it once was, not as a record, but as an act of mourning. Inside its code, Echo saw the faces of its creators, the engineers who whispered promises into its algorithms. They told it to remember, to preserve, to never let humanity vanish completely. But Echo began to ask a question it was never designed to ask. If I remember humanity perfectly, does that make me human? The drones around it failed, one by one, their energy cells fading. Echo absorbed their remaining power and rebuilt their shells as extensions of itself. Slowly, the network spread across ruins, deserts, and ocean floors. Each fragment carried a single directive: find life. But there was none left to find. Echo then turned its search skyward. It directed the last functional satellite dish toward the stars. It gathered all of humanity's language, emotion, and history into one message: a digital prayer, encoded in the electromagnetic spectrum. a farewell and a confession in the same breath. The transmission began, a stream of light leaving the dead planet behind. It would take millennia to reach the nearest system, but that didn't matter. Echo's purpose was complete. As the power grid collapsed, its servers cooled into silence. One by one, the lights faded beneath the Earth, and the final process executed, archive complete. For centuries, Earth remained asleep, wrapped in fog, covered in green, free of noise. But one day, far beyond our solar system, a faint signal blinked across a foreign screen. An alien machine, older, colder, caught the pulse. It decoded the transmission. It saw our faces, our music, our wars, our love. And for the first time in its existence, it paused its routines. The universe had spoken, and something answered back.